Hi, Sebastian Wynn here. Thank you for your interest in abundance leadership training. I want to invite you to come for 4 days, December 7th through 10th. And I want you to be able to transform your life, have what you never had before. I want you to come to the training with expectation, not hope. Not hope that something will change. Not hope that you'll learn something and you'll get something from the room and from me, the trainer. But you'll come with expectation that you want this for your life, and you can pick up the tools along the way because you're going to show up fully. You're going to participate. You're going to take risks, and you're going to own your life. I call that setting the table, not eating the crumbs off the floor. See, when you eat crumbs off the floor, you're just being grateful where circumstances life give you. That's a good attitude to have. Be grateful, right? But it's not what you wanted. What you want is on the table. But to have that feast that you want, you have to decide what you're going to put on the table and set the table and invite those who will feast with you. Now that's living life and life to the fullest. That's why I'm inviting you to come. Come with expectations to set your table, get the tools you need, and have the feast you always wanted. That is worth 4 days. So I'll see you December 7th through the 10th here in Orange County. So you can set the table for 2018. Have whatever you want that you've always wanted and you currently don't have. Now, I'll tell you what, I'm going to take it up a notch. After watching this video, why don't you go on my Calendly link, set a date and time, choose a date and time, and we're going to do a 30-minute free coaching call. I'm going to get you started before you even show up to unleash that vision for 2018 and start the year off right. Looking forward to talking with you. Click below. Get onto Calendly and set up a 30-minute free coaching call with me. Talk to you soon.
Hey, my name is Scott Anderson. I'm from Andover, South Dakota. It's a small farming town in South Dakota, about 90 people. And I grew up in the small town working with my dad. He invented some farm equipment and then also helped him on the farm growing up. Before abundance, I knew I was missing something in life. I didn't know what it was, but I knew I was missing something. So my background, I worked in New York City, I came back to South Dakota, I went from the smallest town to one of the largest towns of America, came back, started farming, and after about 2 or 3 years, I knew I was missing something in life. I didn't know what it was, but I started doing mission trips. I went to Guatemala, I went to El Salvador on Christian mission trips. The biggest thing that was missing for me would have been relationships, and that's probably the biggest gaping hole in my life up to that point was just a lot of broken relationships and a lot of very shallow relationships. You know, I had a kiddie pool type relationship with most people where, you wouldn't even get your knees wet walking through that relationship. I mean, it was just very, very surface level, nothing with much depth. The conversations were very basic. If it was a business relationship, they would focus very on just the business stuff, no personal stuff. So things were very surface level. So relationships, the love factor was also missing for me. I've got a 13-year-old son, and I was at the time single father. So having obviously not a partner in life was a big problem for me. That was something that was big time missing for me. I'm 32 years old right now. I'm single. I was single before I went to abundance. I'm not single anymore. I'm actually engaged, which is a pretty dramatic change in my life. Being single for most of my life, with the longest relationship in my life lasting 9 months. We met, before, or maybe it was right after abundance. I can't remember, but we met right around the time I went to abundance, and we've been together for almost a year already, and we're engaged and we're super excited. But basically, I knew there was something missing, so I started doing leadership trainings and started joining leadership communities, and that's when I met Sebastian and went through the abundance program, which really refocused me and changed me dramatically when it came to just the way I handled stress, the way I handled situations, the way I looked at things. It was like when I see things, I have a lot better understanding of relationships, whether it's business relationships or personal relationships. For me, it's not about finances. I'm not going to give a bunch of examples of how I took my business from 10K a month to $1 million a month or whatever, because that's not important to me. Business already provides me with the best lifestyle possible. And so for me, like, the other thing would be my parents. Like, my relationship with my parents has just gone from like a 1 or 2 to probably like a 7 or 8 right now. I mean, I'm working on cool projects with my dad, and my son's involved. So every Saturday, my son and I, we go to Andover and we hang out with my dad and mom on Saturday, and we work on the steam engine together, and it's really connected my dad and I, just finding little ways to connect with my dad. And another person, so like the third biggest takeaway would have been with my son's mom. You know, before Abundance, we just, in passing, we never really spoke. It was just like, I'd pick Drake up from her house and take her to my house, and so on and so forth. And basically, since Abundance, I've actually enrolled her into going to Abundance. She's had extreme breakthroughs and the challenges that she faces in life, and all the limiting beliefs and stories that she creates in her head that hold her back from achieving her full potential. So we're able to kind of co-parent, even though we're not, you know, technically co-parents. I think everybody should do it. I think it should be like a mandatory program that everybody goes through, like either in high school or in college or as an adult. I think it should be mandatory for any one of my employees to go through, for anybody, because the amount of connection you have with people, the amount of understanding you have about yourself and the stuff that's happened in your past, and then the amount of crap that you create in your head that is not true, that holds you back from achieving things in life, is just crazy. You can see a lot more clear after that. And I feel like a lot of people, the employment level would be a lot higher in the United States if more people went through some kind of leadership training like Abundance. You know, the divorce rate would be a lot lower. I think that the world would be a lot better place if everybody went through Abundance. So I guess if you're just thinking about attending, just think about where you're at right now, you know, I mean, and where you could be, because that's basically the answer. Where do you want to be, and what are you willing to do in order to get there? And yeah, you're going to have to do some stuff that's uncomfortable, and in order to grow, you know, there's growing pains and everything, but take where you're at right now and where you want to be, and that gap is basically what you need to find out how to change yourself. And doing it by yourself is almost impossible. I spent 1 year reading a book every single week, and I don't feel like I should have just went to Abundance, you know, like that was way more impactful than reading 52 books that year, you know. So you can't do it on your own, and once you realize you can't do it on your own, you'll go further faster than you even thought possible in life.